Hi and welcome to another episode of Barry Golf. Today we have a very special 1 hour range session with one of the hottest teaching pros out there at the moment, Liam Robinson, down at Haythorp Park in Oxfordshire. He has a great stable of DP World Tour players, Challenge Tour players, some YouTube influencers. I'm sure you've seen him. So I videoed an hour session with Liam and it's a great session. Hope you enjoy it as much as I did because it was fantastic. So let's go and see Liam.
Yeah, I think the funny thing about it, mate, is like there's probably as much, if not more, technique in it. But what we're doing is we're just kind of taking it into a skill level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot of feel, but that's because it's coming from somebody who's also played. Like I didn't want to be stood on a golf course thinking about a million different things. I wanted to go, okay, if I feel this when I get on a ball, it produces that. And at the end of the day, what it's doing out here is the most important thing. Yeah. So first and foremost, when you watch somebody hit a ball, like generally, like people ask me if I've got TrackMan and stuff. I do. I've literally got it in the car. Just don't use it because
the flight,
I know what
everything
it's doing.
tells you.
I've got ears and I've got eyes. Do you know?
And that's why I find it kind of, you were into it. Oh, yeah, I know I'm into it because it started right and it went right. So open face started.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very, very simple to work out.
It is, mate, yeah.
So look, I play my best golf like anybody. When I get on the golf course and I don't play swing, I play golf, right? Yeah. Like anyone in the world.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously I like to practice. I really want to get to a plus handicap. You may think, 58 what, but I do. Yep. I really do. Yeah. And I know that's going to come through good, solid practicing, but also, you know, some very small fundamental changes with some drills and stuff. And like I said, the stuff that I watch you do, it really did resonate with me.
Yeah,
so
it's really interesting, Matt. I think it has done with a lot of people because at the end of the day, if we go and play any other sport, I don't know why golf seems to be the only game that we've decided to go, actually, we're going to break this down image by image.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a level of importance on one position or two positions when golf's emotion. I mean, a golf swing is emotion. To me, when I look at anything, I look at two things mainly, or I would probably say that I live by two different things. And number one is that I'm always trying to fix in motion as well, because that's going to be the easiest way for you to feel it when you get under the gun. And number two is I think a lot of the time when you ask people logical questions, you go action, reaction. So somebody will say to me, for example, I don't know, they've got a Swiss ball behind and they're rolling the pelvis left. And I'll go, yeah, but what would be the natural reaction to that? And then when they explain it, they go, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then you go, but that's because of the action. The reaction is like, it's not like that's what you do in your golf swing. It's an action to something that you've done earlier. So what I always try and do is I try and create a movement or a rhythm in the golf swing that doesn't require compensation, and it is kind of the way that your body wants to naturally move if you were to do anything else athletic. So the way I explain it is almost like if you were in a squat rack and you were doing a squat, if you stop people being able to bounce at the bottom, they can't lift as heavy because it's difficult. Yeah. Like, and for me, I find a lot of people are putting things in place that are almost like the stop at the bottom of a squat, whereas I like to give people the bounce back.
Yeah.
And the way that we're going to do that today is I'm going to watch you hit a few balls. We're going to get a couple on camera. We're going to have a little look at how your body's moving, see if there's anything in there that could potentially be causing collisions for yourself. Then we'll probably have a better understanding as to why you react the way you do. And then we can start putting that to sounds and ball flights.
Sure.
Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah?
So just as a heads up, when I get a little bit quick, it starts right. The longer the club, the further right it goes. Yeah. I've got a little bit of an into-out club path. I don't mind that because when I like to see a little bit of a draw, 3 or 4 yard draw, that's fine. And like any good golfer, I'm not saying I'm a good golfer, but you when you're on, you know, your timing's good and you're not thinking about it, but it's when I want my ceiling to be as high as it can, but I want my floor to be higher.
Yeah. So the thing is, consistency generally comes from the fact that whether I'm turning up tired, because at the minute we've got a new baby, if I turn up tired, I'm still getting the club to the ground the same way. So I always know that my low point's safe. I know that the way I'm delivering the club's going to be okay. And I know that generally it's not going to be that bad. I might just be a bit tired.
It might not be 180, it might be 170.
Exactly, mate. I might lose 5 yards. Do you know what I mean? Whereas what I used to have when I was younger was I could turn up tired and all of a sudden I start toe striking it, I get more dumped under because I can't control my legs because my legs want to move this way, so that gets more violent. Then all of a sudden I start throwing it harder, and before I know it, I'm hitting toe hooks and big blocks. And it's like,
exactly what I do.
oh yeah. But again, then, but again, that's just general understanding. If you don't have time and space as a good player, you're going to react. What you tend to find in a higher handicap player is that when they don't have space, they're going to want to get out of it over it, which is why they slice it. In a better player or a kind of more advanced player, you would expect to see that from here, what they're then going to do, they're going to start to drive under and open. And you talk about the in-to-out path. Generally, that's not actually anything relative to kind of which way you're swinging. It's not that you're swinging that way or swinging this way. What it actually is the relationship of your shoulders. So if my shoulders start to go under, I'm generally going to swing the club more to the right. If I turn to work more down, I'll get the path more neutral, even though I'm actually more closed off in the geometry of it.
Yeah.
The path then, because it's down, it can exit more left and stabilize. So very often with myself, I know that I'm starting to get under it when my path starts to shift right and I start towing it. Yeah. So for me, I know then that that's a matter of, right, I don't, because when I was younger, the way I'd been taught was that, right, if you're underneath it, you've got to start getting more on top of it this way. But then I'd start pull hooking everything. So then I'm like, well, I'm doing what I'm being asked to do, but the ball's going further left.
Yeah.
So what I learned over time is, with luckily working with the coach that I work with and whatever else, is that it's actually not a matter of kind of open to go down or this way to go under. It's actually like you can still work in closed off, but you can get down on it more, and then that allows the club to naturally. And it's really interesting because the more closed off to it I feel, the more the club exits left for me. So the more my path neutralizes. Whereas the more open I feel to try and get the path left, my path actually goes further right.
Yeah.
Which I always find really interesting. But yeah, let's see
7-9?
what this old boy's doing. Yeah. Hey, not wrong, are you? Nice strike.
Not wrong about what? Into out?
Oh, that you can hit it.
Oh, yeah. It goes all right.
Yeah, it's nice, that. Got some length to it. Really nice, mate. So realistically then, when you said you're coming in, like you're looking for more consistency.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, so for me then, when I see that, because I'm watching those, I'm going, that's lovely. Do you know what I mean? That's really nice. But if you're looking for it to be more consistent, I guess that's going to be when we break it down, is just making you do the ththings that you do well more often, I guess.
Yeah. It's like when you get to a hole that you particularly feel a little bit, like, say if I got my four-iron out and I'm trying to hit, because this is when I start to it gets a little bit blocky, is when I've got a bit of a longer club in my hand. I'm trying to keep it nice and straight. It's a bit of a fin.
Hey, what, mate? What did you say your handicap was again?
4.3.
Well, that's definitely got potential to be lower, isn't it?
Well, I don't think length's going to be an issue.
No.
I can, like, my average drive, 290s carries about where I am.
At 58?
Yeah.
Why are you not on the seniors tour?
So I'm not good enough.
If you had the rest of the game, Jesus, then
Yeah.
if you've got that kind of yardage, you'd be able to, you'd be living the dream. That's lovely, mate. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead, mate.
Oh, that's a nice heel. Don't try and hit it so hard.
Right, I think all of your problems are going to be from this angle here. Right, tell me when you're ready.
Okay. So I'd like to swing it like James, but his tempo is like so good.
James's.
Yeah. That languid just it's so nice. But
I'm sure he'd be happy with you saying you want to swing it like him. What you got to remember is that there's a couple of things. So
I do get a bit of a sway off of it, which
no, you don't.
Oh, okay.
Not all. Like, I'll be honest with you, I hate the word sway. The reason is because people have like made out that it's this bad thing, but lateral motion is critical in a golf swing. So we're managing three forms of motion. Just because all you hear is rotation, rotation's like what's killing everybody, because everybody's going like this and then they're going like this.
Well, I can't, you try and swing it like Akshay Bhatia or someone like that. You can't. It's physically impossible.
It's tough. Yeah, but again, but the problem is, this is also the problem when people watch tour pros, is that you got to remember you're comparing yourself against
The elite of the elite.
the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, like 0.000000001%.
Yeah.
So the problem is when you're trying to compare yourself to somebody that hits a bazillion golf balls a week, has the highest talent level of anybody in the world, they can swing it however they want and they would still be there. Like you could go to him and you could say to him, go and play left-handed, and within a year he'd probably be back on the
Well,
PGA
he's
Tour.
left-handed, isn't he? Actually,
well, there you go. Exactly. But this is what I mean. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh my god, yeah. Sorry, you tell him to play right-handed.
Yeah.
And he'd probably be
You know the
able
kid
to-
I'm talking
I know
about,
who you're on
Indian,
about now.
skinny.
Yeah. Originally, I was thinking, yeah, I know who you mean now.
Oh, you thought I meant Sahi
George-
Thigala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking about the guy that sees Gankus.
Yes.
Yeah. So So like somebody like him, you could tell him to play right-handed, and he's probably still going to be back on tour in 12 months' time. Because it's like when people talk about the Faldo thing. It's like when he ripped his swing apart, it had nothing to do really with what the coach has done. It's to do with the fact that whatever you'd have told him, he'd have won more majors. Do you know what I mean? Because he's uber talent level. And I think a lot of the time with these tour pros, like I just think they're just so talented that the coach is almost just there to stop them getting in their own way. Like it's not really about completely tearing the swings apart and starting all over again.
Yeah.
Like you look at somebody like Tiger, he's done it with Butch Harmon, then Sean Foley, who essentially was teaching him stack and tilt. Do you know what I mean? It's like you look at the differences in where they're at, but he's still won on tour numerous times with both.
But it's all here.
Yeah, of course it is. And it's all a part of it. It's talent level, having the head for it, understanding of the game. And then equally, when you get to that level, the margins are so small. Like if you're trying to play on the DP World Tour, you can hit a shot you can hit a great golf shot, but you're going to be 30 foot all day. Like to have that ability to be able to move balls into flags or to flight it certain ways, like there's a skill level at that level that somebody off a scratch couldn't even comprehend. You know, it's just not even the same game. And I think a lot of the time, I legitimately believe the difference between a scratch golfer and a tour player is probably bigger than a scratch to an 18. I mean, it probably is bigger.
Yeah.
Because what people don't get is they go, oh, I played that course and I shot 2 under around there.
Not when the greens were like running at 14.
Not when the greens are like this,
Yeah.
running at 14, and the rough's like this around the greens, and the fairways are half the width for the week. The one that made me laugh, mate, when I played in Czech, it's like I played that course 30 times. And then I played it in the first Czech Masters, and I was like, "Where's the fairways gone?" Because I'm used to seeing it, and like the fairways are like this.
Yeah.
Play it in the Czech Masters, they've cut them in half the amount, and it's brutal. But when I have a look at this, mate. Yeah, so I think backswing wise, I think you're doing a decent job there. I don't think it's too much that I would be overly worried about, other than the fact that if you watch your right arm, you see there.
Yeah.
You see how it starts to kind of like pull away.
Yeah.
So what that's going to do is that's going to kind of start to want to tilt you a little bit on top of it, so it's not going to allow you to get off it fully because your right arm's taken over a little bit.
Yeah.
Then on the way down, it's obviously just like spinny, and then your upper body gets stuck a little bit, and equally you pull down a little bit with your arms. So I just think we can do a lot of work on this transition, but I think a lot of that can come from one quick little tidy up in the backswing, and then this bit here. Like what I say, see how you kind of get stuck behind, and what you'll notice is if you look from top of neck to belt buckle, you start to get like a bit of a relationship where your belt buckle's a bit out and under.
Yeah.
And then the problem then is that's always gonna have an effect on low point. So you're not going to be able to because you're not going to be able to kind of get that nice squeeze shaft lean.
That's something I've really struggled with. I do get a very high ball flight.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Because then your release pattern that goes under and up.
Yeah.
So like it's under and up. Unless you're
I'm just all hands.
It is all yeah. Look, because then you'll notice that your left leg gets pulled into that bend, and the club's not decelerating, so the club's like over accelerating, which is what pulls you into that kind of loose follow through.
Yeah.
I think if you look from down the line, the biggest giveaway of the fact that you're not decelerating the club head is kind of on the way out here. See how steep it is on the way out.
Yeah, it should be more
and
under my lat or something.
It's like so steep on the way out.
Yeah,
but that's you basically trying to hold it off to stop it going. Like overdrawing left or towing it left. So what we've got to do is, in my opinion, we're going to do a little step drill, but we're going to do a left arm variation.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do then is we're going to do a little bit of work then on this move in to basically stop you from spinning as early, and we're going to basically improve that relationship just there.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get your chin and your sternum more on top of your pelvis, but at the right point. And then I think we'll be golden. You don't need to start with it out here because you actually get a good amount of club travel. So there's all these little manipulations in these drills that you can very often go on my Instagram and you can go, oh, same drill, same drill. But there's little intricacies in each one of them that are kind of individual.
I have been trying it out. I'm not going to lie.
No, everybody has. I get messages every day. I must get 50 messages a day on Instagram alone, just kind of, oh, I've tried the towel drill. And I always say, which one? And they're like, the towel drill. And I'm like, yeah, but which one? And the thing is like, there's probably 60 of them. But the point is they've all got their own little pieces for whatever you need. So, for example, you don't need to start out here because you've already got enough backswing length, all that kind of stuff. So when I start with people out here, that's to help them get more club travel. You don't really need that. So, but we are still going to start left arm only. Reason being is this kind of right arm getting a bit this way. What that then does is it gets it a bit long and saggy, and then it gets it a bit pulley in transition. That then is why it's then also steep on the way out and very that way. Whereas I want it to be more kind of left arm pushing. So I feel like from here that if I was almost, I almost feel like I'm trying to like push. So it's like push it away. So from here, I'm going step. And what that's going to do is that's just going to help you get a bit of kind of leverage from that left side as well. So you're going to go step back on, and then we're going to hit. But for you, to be honest, A, because we've only got an hour, and B, because it's your transitional move that's the problem, we're going to do it in 3 pieces. The reason we do that is so that I can manipulate you in transition, so you can overfeel the transitional piece too, so that I don't have to mess around. If we were here for 2 hours, I would have let you do it in full speed first, and then I would have then moved on to this. But I'm just going to go straight into this because I know we're going to be going there anyway, so we might as well get there first. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We're going to step off, push away, and stop. But you'll notice I'm putting my right hand on right at the top.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody that wants to pull, if I hadn't have said that, you'd have gone like this, and you'd have still pulled. So what we've got to do is we've got to go step, push on, then we're going to go down and across, and then I'm going to hit the towel. So it will look something like this. It will be step off, down and in, and then I'm going to hit the towel.
So you want that pause there?
Yeah, I want it paused again, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's so that you can create this like huge overfeel of that middle piece.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to come in, have a little go for me. I want you just to do the backswing only for me. So it's left arm only. That's it. You're going to pop that on right at the top. Good. Right. And then what I want you to feel in transition is this. So it's going to feel like that. Okay. That's how it's going to feel. Have you got an alignment rod in here?
No, I took it out.
It's all right. We'll just use this. Right. So set up as if you're going to hit that towel for me. Right. If I put that club like that.
Yeah.
What I want you to do now, so make the backswing again for me. So always step first, just to give you that bit of leverage. Good. Right. Then what I want you to feel, you see this angle on this shaft that I've got?
Yeah.
I want you to imagine that your left knee, left shoulder is going to move up that line.
That way.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Better.
Then smack.
Hit. Yeah.
Right.
So that's it. So start kind of stance-wise, you might start maybe a smidge smaller, like narrower. That's it. And stop, down and up the stick. That's it. Do it in 3 for me though. Yeah. So always in 3. And what this shows you is basically it's asking you to have good body control, because if you can't stop, it shows you how much you want to pull. So it's showing that you're not leaning in with your body, that you're pulling from your arms. So again, so little step off for me, great. Little down and in on the stick, then hit. Awesome, good.
The towel went left.
Yep, it has no relevance really. If it's heavier, it will go left. If it's lighter, it will go straighter. Okay. It just depends out what time of day you come in for a lesson. If you're coming at the end when it's wet, it will go left. Right, just hang on 1 second for me. Just going to get this on video.
Sure.
Right, are you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead. So step off, push back. See, right. So what did I say to you at the start? Had I not said something to you, when did I tell you try put your hand back on?
Very early.
Watch this. Without even subconsciously, because you want to pull from your right arm.
Straight there by my knee.
It's not even gone past your leg and it's already on.
Okay.
Yeah? Literally don't put it on till you get to the top.
Okay.
That's really important. If we're trying to get more push and more dominance from the left arm, you've got to put that on late. There you go. Better. Right. Do that for me again. Nice. Right. You ready?
Yep.
Right. So you're going to do step first, on late, down and in, then go. Great. So what this drill does when you do it like this, it highlights absolutely everything that you currently do
Okay.
to create leverage. So now you're putting it on later, so we fix that bit. But what you'll notice in transition, look, see when I did it, I pulled your upper body.
Yeah.
Watch what moves first. So you go under.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you basically have gone like this. So you've gone here on, you've gone like that. Yeah. What it is from your here, you're leaning across.
Yeah.
Okay. So do that for me again. I'll move you. So just do backswing only.
Yeah.
Good. Right. Then it's this. Now hit the
not
towel.
that.
Yeah. It's not that. It's not legs driving. So do it again. Right. Let me move you and stop. Right. Let me move you. Right. In. Now hit the towel. Go. Perfect. Better.
Feels like you're gonna. If it was a shot, it feels like gonna just literally just shank it.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah, but the thing is, like, mate, even when I've had the pros in and stuff out, they're like, how am I not hitting this 40 yards right? The only way you hit it right is if you hold on to it. But you got to think of things in opposites. It's like the thing is, if you spin, that kicks the club more out in front of you. It gets the club up more, gets you more under. So that's actually you're more inclined to shank it from there. Because your arms are working right, your body's working left.
Yeah.
This is just getting you on top of it. So like when I show you this in a second, so now I've just done that to you. Let me video a good one.
Yeah.
And let me show you. Right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead. So step, pop it on late, down and in. Good. Go. Right. Now watch this. So you want to see how different it looks. Watch this. Watch now. So much better. See how your sternum and your pelvis are right on top of each other.
Jesus.
And then you get shaftling.
Oh yeah. That's mad.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a strange move.
It's not though.
It's not. I know it's
You know
not.
what I mean? Like when you actually break it down, it's a strange move for people because they're so used to being told to turn.
Yeah.
But the point is you watch any other athletic motion or any other sport. That's exactly how they're moving. If you were going to throw a ball properly, you wouldn't go like that and then like that, would you?
No.
You'd go create leverage, pull it back, lean in, sling. That's basically what I've just got you to do.
Yeah.
So when we look at that from down the line, because the good thing we know as well is now, if it's shallow from down the line, we know you're shallowing it the right way because we also know you're on top of it because we've just watched you. So we know that now you're not, because what you tend to find with a lot of golfers is they'll go, I'm steep because they've got their shoulder angle correct, but then their plane's off. So what they'll do is they'll go, I need to get that plane right. So what do they do then? They go, whoop, that way. So now they're shallow, but now they're under, just as bad. Yeah, still going to hit horrendous golf shots, and I think that's where a lot of people kind of get it wrong. I think that's the hardest relationship as a golf coach that you can work out is that you've got to be working the correct geometry whilst not losing the plane, and that's I think is the hardest thing to learn. But there's a few people that I know how, but it's tough.
Yeah,
it is a really difficult thing because what do you see all the time? You get people kind of like, right, swing out at 2:00 to try and shallow it. Then that person is just like hitting it over there. They're so dumped underneath. They hit it this far behind it. And they're like, I'm swinging at 2:00. And it's like, yeah, you are. You're just well underneath it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, a lot of the time, it's just, a lot of the quick fixes or band-aids that you're given, they're just not
It's all this YouTube stuff. You're getting this kind of YouTube and you keep watching different videos. That's a good tip.
Yeah, I'll try that.
How relevant is it to you, though?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a bit of that. And then there's a bit of kind of, how relevant is it to anyone? It's like you can swing at 2:00 100 different ways. It's like, are you swinging it 2 or am I moving it 2? Am I like, do you know what I mean? Because you can see from here, I've almost got you at 2:00, but I'm getting you to move that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I haven't created that because of the 2:00 thing. It's just for you. When I watch your knee, the first thing you do is that I can move laterally 3 different ways. Like if I had 3 discs on the ground, I can move laterally that way. I can move laterally that way. I can move laterally that way. And for somebody like yourself, when you watch you on camera, generally what you find with people's pelvis level is that when they start to get into rotation, it tends to go under. Yeah. The more that I go in that direction, it tends to work down. So the thing is, if I know I've got somebody here like yourself that, like I said to you, we've done this pretty quick, so we're only here for an hour. Do you know what I mean? If we had 2 hours, we'd have taken our time a bit more with it. But if I go this way, if I've got somebody that wants to go that way, my job is to get you moving more down and in. So straight away, what we've done is we've give you the feel of like working not just lateral, we're getting you to work lateral and down.
Yeah.
But that's just through directional force. It's not through anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. So to the top for me. Great. Down and on that line. Good. Then go. Amazing. So that's pure, isn't it? I wish I had that one on video, actually.
That was the best one.
It's great, wasn't it? The other thing that's really interesting that you won't even notice is how twitchy you become. So because I've stopped you, what you can see at the top is you're going... and you have no idea you're even doing it. The reason is because normally you're so desperate to pull on that club that when I ask you to stop, you still can't stop yourself. But what happens over time is you won't even realise it, but you'll come in a week's time and you'll go... You won't even have that urge anymore because of the way you've practiced.
Yeah.
And equally, the other thing that I always find really interesting with people is they come in for their first lesson and they go, yeah, hit some balls, and they go... Then they go, and it's like by the time they're even 3 or 4 towel drills in, mate, they're stood over the ball and they're going like this. They got no idea why.
They're moving around.
They're becoming alive because they have an awareness of energy. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like use what's around you. It's amazing, mate. Like honestly, you know the subconscious things people do that they're clueless they're even doing. It's actually wild. Because you'd have had no idea that you were stood at the top and you were doing this.
Not at all.
But I can see it straight away. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it's like,
it's not the first time you've seen this, right?
Oh, mate, yeah. I only probably see it 8 times a day, but... Right, are you ready, mate?
Yep.
Go ahead. So, same thing. So, on late. Good. In. Go. Like, you look at that. All of a sudden... Like, watch how this moves now.
Wow.
So it's like forearm, toe line in delivery, hit. And that's a proper hit as well.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be moving. It's funny because you're working more that way, yet your swing looks like it's working more this way.
Is that correct?
It's absolutely correct.
Okay.
It's absolutely correct. That's how it should work.
Okay.
The more I go this way, the more I can exit that way.
Yeah.
Whereas like before, you think about the thing we didn't like, the more you feel like you're this way,
go straight up,
the club's going up that way.
Yeah.
And now you feel like you look like you're going this way, and all of a sudden the club's exiting more that way. I wish I got the one before because you actually had, because the towel wasn't as heavy, you got more of an extension. You could see where the club came out, and it was so much better.
Like here.
Oh mate, it was like that's the one that I said I wish I'd got.
Yeah.
So let me see if you get a bit more of a follow through on this one. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Go ahead. So step off, pop it on later. Good. Down and in. Go. That's it. Even that, like, you can see just about where the club head's going to come out. See just there, look where the club head's coming out.
Yeah.
So it's like almost mid bicep, which is where it should be.
Yeah, not me.
Not like up over you before it's coming out through your ear and your shoulder. Yeah. So does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Right. So what I want you to do now is, because we've only got about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to take this out the way. What you can do if you're on a range or a practice ground that allows you to that has the space. Don't do this on a range because I know it's people will be wondering what on earth you're doing. But in regards to...
We've got a smash bag at home, but you say don't use smash bags.
Well, the reason I don't use smash bags, if I'm honest, is because people load them up too heavy, and number 2 is they rip all the time. They're so loud. Whereas like you just take the towel out.
Just stick it in the garden.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Exactly, mate. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go into. So we're literally just going to go into this. So I want you to do a practice swing where you go like this. So sorry, I do have my coat on. You'll have to excuse my demos.
That's all right.
Getting old now.
It's cold as well. It's getting colder.
Mate, it is when you're on here all day.
I bet.
So literally what we're going to do is we're going to go step off, on, down and in, thud the mat, work in. We're going to step off, and at full speed we're just going to hit the ball. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. You're literally just going to go step off and hit. Rubbish.
Not bad with a coat on.
So yeah.
So
we're going to do the one hand back practice swing, and the big thing is you've got to create that thud off the mat. Good. Down and in, then throw. Almost. A little shallow, wasn't it? Can we do a better version than that, do you think?
Yeah.
So left arm back, step off. Good. In, go. And what's relative now? So now listen to this. Right, do it again for me, backswing only.
Yeah.
Right. Now hit the ground. Easier. A little bit. Do it again. So step off and up. Good. Right, down and in. Right, now throw your arms at the ground. There you go. Better. Right, So that thud is really important. The reason it's really important is that's what's showing you you're not getting around the corner. If you get around the corner, you'll miss the ground. So if you start to turn, you'll then miss the turf.
Right.
Yeah. So let's do that. So what I want you to do, one practice swing, walk in, step off, and I want you to recreate the sound on the ball for me. You know that sound you're getting on the mat?
Yeah, yeah.
I want you to put that on the ball. So step off, left arm back, in, go. Good. Right, on the ball for me. Little step off, and then I want you just to create that thud on the mat for me. Two-handed, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's two-handed on the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not at that point yet. Okay. And even on that, like I said, when we get on the ball, I want it to be at full speed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So literally, you're going to go. So I know it's kind of weird going, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go right. Let's break it down, feel all the right
drill
things.
Drill shot, that kind of thing.
And then I want you to walk into the ball, but I still want to have something in there, which is why we're stepping.
Yeah.
That's still kind of making sure that you're getting off of it and making sure you've got the right space to be able to do the move that you're practicing. So it's one hand back on late, down and in. Do it as 3 pieces for me. Just so I know you're always angled down, that's all. So step off. Good. Down and in. Go. Good. Right, on the ball for me. Little step off at full speed and then just hit it. Create that sound on the mat for me. Nice. Beautiful. That was nice, mate.
A little high.
Yeah, well, again, it's going to be a little high for 2 reasons. Number one is I've put you a foot and a half further back than you should be. So it's always going to be hitting a bit. But then what I'm trying to get you to do is over time is what you'll start to do is you'll go, that's a bit high. And then you'll start to make that move more and more to get the ball fly down.
I'm going to be, I didn't really think about the move there.
No. But again, we don't really need you to. What I want you to feel literally is just that step off, feel like your left arm's pushing away. And then what will happen is because you're more off of it, subconsciously, you're going to want to move more into it.
Okay.
Nice. And what you'll start to notice when you do this is how neutral it becomes.
That was very neutral.
So a lot of people, when they watch my stuff, they go, yeah, but what if I want to fade it? As if I'm like this draw guy.
Specialist.
Most guys that I get hit it so neutral. And then it's like a release neutral. So what they can then start to do is my players tend to hit a release fade or a release draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas a lot of guys have like a slingy draw or a held to death fade. And the problem is that held off fade a lot of the time doesn't come back either. So when you're doing this stuff, it's kind of, we've got to get you moving well, but then we've equally got to get you in a position and you can start releasing it. And what you tend to see is that. Just honestly, it's what I see. Like, it's what we see all the time. Whether it's somebody who's coming off 15 or whatever else and is like slicing it. It's like generally what we start to get is if I've had this mat lined up to the same place for the last 3 weeks, and I guarantee you when anybody's on here, it starts just on the right edge of the red rock every time.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who it is. Good. In. Go. Beautiful. Better thud that time. Then on the ball, nice little step off and recreate that sound for me. Stunning.
Bit skinny.
What you'll notice kind of like shape wise is when you hit your first 4 or 5, it was more of a probably draw. Like it was a good kind of 5-6 yard draw. Whereas what you'll notice now is that ball's like moving a yard max.
If at all.
If at all.
Yeah.
It's so neutral. And the great thing with a neutral like strike like that is what's giving you that feedback. If you were getting that clickier sound, it wasn't as thud.
Yeah.
It would draw more. The more you throw it in is what neutralizes it. So I very often, when I was playing a lot, I would start my range sessions drawing it so that I know my body's moving well. And then all I do is my range session increase. I just start throwing the club in more. And then what that do is it just neutralizes the draw a little bit for me. It's interesting. Nice. The other thing as well that you'll notice, just let me get that on video, just that little 3-piece little practice swing, because it gives a better indication of the exit. Right, tell me when you're ready. So left hand back, put it on late, move in, then go. Like, look at the difference. Like, look where the club's exited now.
Yeah.
Way more below that shoulder.
Yeah.
and then it's around, it's way less like up and out. So it's like more shallow in front where it should be, release down,
Yeah.
and lower on the way out.
Yeah.
You compare that to the original release pattern.
Yeah.
It's very different, isn't it? It's a lot less floaty. So what that's showing you is it's getting some form of like throw and then slows down. And when I say slows down, I don't mean like you're going to hit it probably further. What I mean is that you're not over accelerating at the wrong time,
Yeah.
which when a lot of people talk about flipping it or scooping it or whatever, it's just over acceleration. Whereas that, because you're hitting the ground, you're getting the deceleration.
Yeah.
Good. Nice. It's just so neutral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's literally not moving a foot. It's just literally like
dead straight.
Yeah, absolutely as neutral as it gets, which is nice, huh?
Yeah. Look, it's the shortest distance, the shortest, you know, travel distance between one spot to another is straight, right? So
absolutely, yeah.
If you can hit straight drives all the time,
it's nice. In, good, amazing. Easy as that, bud. See, as soon as I'm looking at the swing now, I'm just like, yeah. You know, say like my eyes are looking for collisions. Like, it just looks like it's like this. It's like here, here, throw, here. It's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's how I see it anyway. Other people would be more educated or... Like, you could legitimately walk out there and put like a towel over those four.
Yeah, I know.
Like they are legit. Like that start line and shape is so tight.
Kind of right height for a 7, would you say?
I'd say so. Mate, a 7-iron's not supposed to be this high.
No.
Unless you want it to.
Well,
like the thing is, all I'd do if I wanted to flatten that ball flight out a little, all I'd literally be doing. So I just mess around with the 3 pieces. So it's like I always get off it. The flatter I want it to go, I move in more. If the ball's below my feet, I move in more. If I want the ball to go higher, I do the third bit, the release in the up more. So I just pull up more and I get it into a higher window. There you go, I'll show you. It's easier just to demonstrate it. I'm even getting the jacket off for this one. This one requires a bit more
athletic.
Yeah, and I wish I had my own cover on it. But
That's all right. It's not,
yeah, so
they're not bad clubs.
literally, if I want to flatten the ball flight out more, or if I want a downhill slope. So a lot of people talk about kind of changing setup for the slope. I even kind of manipulate my body more for the slopes that I'm on. So for example, if I'm on a downhill, I know I've got to get low point more forwards. I just stay this way for longer. So if I want to flatten the ball flight out a little bit, I'll literally just kind of stay that way for longer.
Yeah.
Then I can bring it down 3 windows.
Yeah.
That's probably 2 windows, 2.5 windows flatter than I normally would hit. But then equally, if I want to go, then I'd have like my medium one. But then if I want to launch it up higher, what I'll do is I'll stay here, but then I'll pull up and release it harder. So literally from here, look, I'll pull up and I'll pull it up through a window.
Yeah.
But you'll notice it's the exact same golf shot. It's like dead straight.
2-yard draw.
2-yard draw. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then equally, what I was saying earlier about the fade, all I literally do, I swing it exactly the same. I just manipulate my body more around the ball this way. And then I literally do the exact same thing. And I'll just hit a little 2-yard cut instead.
Nice.
Mate, that was a good demo, that was.
That was pretty decent.
Right there, and
Shame I haven't got the camera behind with some shot tracers.
But yeah, mate. But the great thing is, and what you'll notice is, they're all the same golf swing, but how in control. Even though I've just hit you 3 completely different ball flights,
Yeah.
they're all so where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no, oh, well, I'm cutting it, so I'm going to start it over here. I start catching it heavy. It's got no ball speed in, or it's like, it's so much easier to play with because that release fade's almost going as far as a release draw.
Yeah.
So, like, in regards to talking about the margins on tour, I'd rather have a 4-yard margin between my fade and my draw than I would a 35-yard margin because I'm bloody holding.
There was that
off on
guy,
one.
who was it in their massive, Lindell?
Yeah.
You see him? He was hitting like 30-yard bomb cuts.
He's a great player, by the way.
Oh, no doubt.
Very, very, very good player.
But
I played with him in Spain on Challenge Tour about 4 years ago, and he was like
good,
impressive. Yeah. Very impressive. And it's weird because he kind of didn't do. I don't know if he kind of did his PJS. He did something where you didn't really didn't really see him for a little while, and then out of nowhere, kind of was at like the winter tour stuff in Spain the last couple of years, and then all of a sudden he was back on Challenge Tour.
And now he's on
Now he's
DP.
on DP. Yeah.
Yeah.
He always had that though.
Yeah.
He always had that for sure, and he'd obviously been on DP previously. Good in throw, awesome. Then on the ball, step off for me, and then just get that sound off the mat.
That is so striped.
Nice, huh?
Does it look? I would imagine, but does it look different?
So
It feels different.
when you hit, so this is what I always say to people as well, is like people when I'm giving somebody lessons and we do like online exchanges, they're like, "Do you want to see my swing?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Just send me the drills," because if the drills don't look perfect, the swing's certainly not. But what you tend to see when it comes to performance is that if your drills look perfect and your feels have changed, like because your feels there have got to be completely different to what they were when you came in, and because of that, that can create performance. Like the actual look of your golf swing, it takes time on a ball at full speed. But what happens is that it starts to change little pieces bit by bit. A lot of people on the drills can't do them right initially, so it takes weeks to kind of get those looking perfect. Once that's happening, then it starts to translate over. Yeah. So in regards to like, look, don't get me wrong. There's little giveaways here, like the exit of the club.
I didn't mean
So, yeah.
aesthetically looking good. I mean,
No.
you can start to see if you just.
It doesn't look half as collision. Like, you know, kind of when you first start off, it's like, yeah, you can see that right arm's kind of getting you this way a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you can see that then it's a bit that way.
Bit savvy.
Whereas that, particularly the practice swing looks like, I find it hard to explain, but as a golf coach, it's like when I see you do the practice swing, it's like I go, because I know you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas when I see like this and then I see this, I'm like, if I was caddying for you as your coach, I'd be going, please. Do you know what I mean? Let's time this one well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas when I watch the practice swing, I'm like, you could be doing that on any hole in the world and I would not be phased.
Yeah.
Well, you've only got to look, mate. Like you've literally hit every single golf ball within a 2-yard window. And it's like, if you're looking to just be off scratch, plus you can do that doing that. I can tell you that for free. Do you know what I mean? If you're telling me you want to be on the PGA Tour in 3 years,
no,
then we've got different.
Don't think the wife, 4 kids and 6 grandkids would be too happy about that.
There you go.
Yeah, it'd be lovely, but there's no money on the European Legends Tour. It's all.
No, yeah.
I'd have some fun on there, but yeah, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to play for like the seniors Hertfordshire team or something if I got good enough.
Of course. Yeah. Thing is, mate, we've all got different ambitions. The thing is, when you start actually changing the level of the game you're at, goals can change, can't they?
Yeah.
If you all of a sudden get this and you start hitting it in the 2-yard window constantly, and you end up becoming that good, and you're shooting 5 under every time you play, that might change your ambitions a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm still in it 290, 300 at 58.
Yeah, exactly, and hitting it dead straight and whatever else, and hitting it whether you feel good or bad or whatever, you're hitting it the same every week. You might decide to have a slight change of heart.
1,000,000%. Maybe.
In. Good, go. Obviously, I'm talking to somebody I don't know how you chip and putt, so I've got no idea.
Not bad.
Yeah?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Chipping can be
because that's where it's at, really.
Of course,
like, everybody hits it good. Like, don't get me wrong on the seat. Like, if you were hitting it 300 through the air, you're probably going to have a good little advantage there.
Look, I can reach where people are hitting driver hybrids. Some of my 4 handicap buddies that I play with, I'm hitting driver 9-iron, driver 8-iron, and it's like 450. It's a big advantage.
Of course it is, mate.
Massive
Exactly.
advantage.
So if you can chip and putt all of a sudden,
yeah.
Don't know where the floor. You don't know where the ceiling is, really, do you?
Not really. I'm actually enjoying the drill more, actually, than the golf ball.
Oh, mate, people do. Like, but somebody asked me about me earlier. I'd lost my Europro card in 2016. I say I lost it. It's like it sounds like a better story when I say I lost it. I actually didn't, because I came 71st out of 70, and the guy ended up going up. So I actually didn't even lose my card, but I should have lost my card for coming 71st, even though it was my one place.
Yeah.
And it's probably aesthetically the best my golf swing's ever looked in regards to what most people are asking for. But obviously I wasn't playing well enough. Went to Australia, did a couple of months there, came back, and I didn't have one range session. Not one, 6 months.
Wow.
Literally just hit towels. And if I wanted to hit a ball, I just hit it in a net where there was no outcome. And then I just played a lot. but a lot of it was like, all my technical work was done on a towel. And within 4 months of being home, I was leading a challenge tour event after 3 days. My first ever challenge tour event. I had 27 rounds in a row, par or better.
Wow.
And then I ended up playing in my first DP World Tour event that September. And I got back from Australia in March. And I literally did that with not one range session.
Jesus.
The only time I hit balls was basically to warm up. That was it.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it just goes to show that, like, and it was weird, mate, because it was almost like the towel became this, this kind of
symbol of,
yeah, it was like this kind of like godlike thing for me that, like, even if I started losing my swing after 12 holes on the course, it was like, right, let's get home, let's get in, post a score.
Well, I saw James talking about it. He had a bad round. He spent 3 hours hitting a towel in the back garden.
That's because me and him had a little conversation on FaceTime. And I said to him, I was like, how much towel work you been doing? He's like,
none.
I was like, well, this is why he was supposed to come in before he went out there, because I wanted to clearly kind of outline how much of each thing he should be doing each day. And
so you say, out of all of this, doing an hour of towel every day would be unbelievably,
mate, if you could do 15 minutes of that a day, you would see like, because it is quite monotonous, like just smacking a towel is quite hard work. Yeah, but I would recommend.
I go to a range and I hit 150, 200 balls, completely brain dead, just hitting balls into the net or over. Yeah. It's like, what is that achieving?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
Just killing my elbow.
All it's doing, mate, is basically, yeah, exactly. It's injuring yourself, and all it's doing is giving you a rhythm. So, like, after you've hit those first 10 balls, the next 140 are a bit of a waste of time anyway.
I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
Whereas that's why even when we're on here, I'm like, right, slow down. Because what I have to do with people when they come in, it's like I spend the first 15 minutes slowing them down. I don't mean in regards to speed of the swing. I mean, like, they're like so twitchy and like, bang, another ball, bang, bang. And you're like, yeah, just breathe a minute. Yeah. Let's just do the drill, walk in, hit a ball. And then what I'm doing here is I'm creating a rhythm that when you get out there, it's the same rhythm. I mean, it's like practice swing, hit. Not practice swing, get over the ball, do 4,000 waggles and extra practice swings, and then duff it. I mean, it's like create the rhythm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a big believer in. I would much prefer to see you doing the towel work.
Oh, that's a given. That's a given. I've got a couple of old towels. I've got a smash bag, but big deal.
Oh, mate, you can use that. You just annoy your neighbours.
But I think with a towel, you've got instant feedback.
Yeah. So the problem with the smash bag is people load them up too heavy.
Yeah.
Like ideally, you want something that is resistant enough to slow you down, but not that resistant that you can't swing through it.
Yeah.
Because the problem is then you end up with people like this.
Yeah.
So it ends up messing up the release.
Holding it off, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In, throw. Good. In the ball. Big step off for me. Create that sound. Just lovely, isn't it?
It's not bad.
Just in, throw. Awesome.
Really felt like I really got that one. Like lent into it. Felt quite nice actually.
Lovely.
Felt like you can't miss it.
I've got to be honest, mate, for a first lesson, because we've only got an hour as well.
Don't know what time it is it? Oh, we're done.
But
you finished? You got another lesson now?
No, I haven't actually. Just cancelled. So I'm actually going home to do some video lessons. So I got about 300 I've got to do. So I'm on FaceTime tonight till 11 o'clock tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm slammed at the minute. I literally start in the mornings with guys in Australia and Asia, and then I come here, coach in person from.
Has this been slowly building over time from?
So it went kind of. Obviously, I got in with Brandon. Like Brandon started seeing me, and then the pro stuff went pretty quick.
Have you got other pros now coming to see you as well?
Yeah, I got 21.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah. So I got at the moment. I'm at 21.
Is it the same deal? You just charge them an hour, or is there like a percentage of earnings?
Depends what level they're at. Yeah, it depends what level they're at. I think I've got lads who have like a monthly package that includes one in-person or FaceTime event. Sorry, mate. Got a new baby.
Long day. Tell me about it. I had my two grandsons this morning at 6:30 for my daughter who was struggling, so we had to go around and help her out. Twins.
Oh God.
You want to have twins, mate?
Yeah, mate, I wouldn't be having any more, I tell you. Yeah, so we and then I've got obviously players like that are on tour that you obviously have a percentage and all that kind of stuff, and then it's just whatever the agreement is, and then there's other people that just pay me by the hour, but it's generally most pros are on some kind of monthly.
Would be nice,
support.
wouldn't it? Yeah, a couple of years time, travelling around, going on to.
Well, mate, I got to be honest. We've like this year, I think I did 5 different challenge tour events in 6 weeks, and I did those with 3 different players.
Perfect.
So, and that's like straight off the bat. And then, I think it's just a matter of kind of keep doing the best job I can, just keep doing what I'm doing. And because the thing with myself is I've always like, I wouldn't change. I don't want to change and try and be something that I'm not, just to kind of get views and whatever else. So for me, it's like, look, if you want to come in and listen to me, great.
Do you have any? I know, like Gankis and some of them guys, they'll bring in an assistant, teach them, and they would take over some of your. No.
I just at the moment I'd need to be able to fully trust somebody to do that. Like, I don't just want to have somebody under me that people aren't coming for a golf lesson to come in and see me because they want to work on their grip. They're coming because they want to hit tiles and want to learn how to move properly. So the thing is like, I don't want to give it to somebody else who maybe doesn't see things the way I see it.
Yeah.
Somebody would need to kind of work under me for at least a couple of years, I think, before I trust that. But that's probably going to be the way it'll end up going, just because I think obviously growth goes a certain way. I'll see who I can.
You've only got a certain amount of hours in your day, right?
Yeah, and that's
there's only one Liam,
I'm
so
burning out. So, like as what I was saying earlier, I coach in person then from 9 till 5 every day. Like, I'm fully booked, I think, until mid-December now. And then it's like, and then literally it's kind of, I get home at 5 o'clock, I have dinner, and then literally 6 o'clock till 10 every night.
doing videos.
I'm on FaceTime to people in America normally. So it's really busy, mate. It's amazing. It's everything, obviously, I've ever. But off the back of like the pro stuff, James then came in to see me, which you saw, and then obviously the amateur stuff. Then I've been opened up into that world now.
Yeah, look, he's not. Really... he hasn't got the most subs in the world. He's quite an obscure YouTuber as it goes. Yeah. He's not good or Grant Horvat
like 78,000, I think. 80,
it's not bad.
000.
Yeah, but his videos get what 3,500, 4,000 a view, which I enjoy. South Africa series, it's great.
The ones that he does, I think the ones he did with me, I'm pretty sure they did like nearer 40,000.
They did.
Yeah, they did quite well.
They did. Me, but it's South Africa ones, which is just a vlog, right? Which I really enjoy because, you know, it's tough, man. It's tough to make a living as a pro golfer.
Really? Yeah, well, it's impossible. You're not making a living until you get on tour.
Yeah.
Like, until you get to DP. Because the problem is, even on Challenge Tour, it's like, to keep your cards, 28,000 euros. If you're playing 24 events, it costs $2,000 a week.
Well, that bursary they give away to the top 5, I didn't realise it was so, like, that's not much. 20 grand for the year, inexpensive. You could do that in a month.
Yeah. Like, Challenge Tours normally, I worked it out to be about $2,000 a month, a week. So, like, if you're playing 24 events, it's 50 grand pretty much, and it's like you could literally keep your card and lose 25k, and that's at Challenge Tour level.
Is the DP like the PGA Tour where all the hotels, travel, all sorted out for them and stuff like that?
You can. Every week there's every week that there's a
DP World Tour organised hotel.
I'm trying to think what it's called, the official hotel.
Yeah.
And then generally in those weeks, like for example, when we were in Prague, from the official hotel, they put buses on every day. There's cars that will bring you back and forwards. So they do look after you a little bit like that, but it's a lot cheaper to kind of book your own hotel and get a car.
Get Premier.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they charge you?
Yeah.
Oh, they charge you for right? Okay.
Yeah. So like the official hotels are like they're normally they're not the cheapest. Like, they're normally really nice hotels and stuff like that. So you can still do it way cheaper. Like for the Czech Masters, when I played in it, I used to stay in a place called Baroon. It was like the official hotel was 750 quid for the week. I used to pay like 220 there. Do you know what I mean? It was like, and then by the time you've had a car at 100 quid,
save yourself
saving 350 quid a week.
Yeah.
And when you're obviously doing it on a budget like I was, you had to try and be a bit more clever. And obviously lads will jump in Airbnbs together and stuff like that. So yeah, it's tough, mate. Really tough. Yeah. Even on the lower level of the DP, it's like,
yeah, I can imagine.
Even that's not like, if you're doing, all of a sudden you're doing 30 events a year, and it's costing you $3,500, and obviously you had a caddy in a week. A caddy a week's going to cost you a
couple of grand.
Quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like all of a sudden your costs go from.
If you're not Rasmus Højgaard, who's making $1 million, whatever it was, then caddies need paying, right?
They do, mate. Yeah. Exactly. Well, the caddies get paid anyway. Like you get your base rate, and then you get a percentage. It's normally 5% for cut, 7% top 10, 10% for the win. So that's normally kind of what the percentages look at. But so it's a tough gig, mate.
It's tough, mate.
Tough gig.
Tough gig.
But does that all make sense?
All makes sense, fella. Thank you very much.
No,
Well, as I said, there's only so much you can get on video until you actually someone sees your swing. You have a chat, get some kind of formulaic idea of what we're doing, which is great.
Well, these sessions, the problem is a lot of the time when people see my stuff on YouTube is that they're generally seeing people's initial sessions all the time. And my initial sessions are generally, I've got to get people moving. I've got to get people not holding on, stop dead. Like it's all, a lot of the lessons you'll see as initial ones will almost look quite similar. But the reason being is that what you have to do is you have to get the base level of what I want people to do. And then you can start to then build this like toolbox of the bits that you're struggling with. So for example, you might be struggling with pulling down. I would then all of a sudden the next time you come in would do 2 drills based on that. But most of the time people don't get to see that bit because obviously they're seeing the initial lessons on YouTube. But yeah, so yeah, mate, just I'd start with that. That would probably get you off to a decent little start. And then,
look,
yeah,
it was that feel there was the one that really made the difference to me because it always felt like it was that, which is not.
No, it's not. That's just under.
Exactly.
So that's moving laterally, but it's the geometry's off.
Yeah,
it's that way.
And then it's going to be whoop,
yeah, exactly. And then you got no choice.
Stand up.
Well, the
flip.
thing is, if you didn't flip it, you just fat it.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, I'm a good player. I ain't going to do that. Yeah. So then you throw the hands at it. Everything's just reactionary, mate. Like it's what I said at the start: action, reaction. It's like everybody's so reactive, and whether you're going to react whether it's good or bad. So you might as well give it the good stuff so you can react correctly, rather than giving it the bad stuff and struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate.
Superb.
Good man.
Liam, thank you very much.
Good to have met you, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us once again here on Barry Golf. Hopefully you enjoyed that session with Liam. I know I really did. Plenty of towels to be hit over the coming weeks and months. Apologies for a lack of videos over the last year, but that is now over. Back to playing golf on a more regular basis and plenty of videos coming your way on Barry Golf. So look after yourself, take care and keep swinging.